going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. We are out here again in the Kawartha Lakes, and we got another sunny, calm, flat, hot day. I'm with my boy Griff, and we're gonna go look for some smallmouth. Super popular technique for smallmouth, the drop shot. And that's what today's video is gonna be all about. I'm gonna go in depth into drop shot fishing. I'm gonna go over setup with you guys, baits, how I fish it. You know, drop shot, you can do a lot of stuff. You can live scope fish with it, you can sight fish with it, you can drag it around. So we're gonna go around, we're gonna see if we can catch a few bronzies today and teach you guys a little bit about the drop shot. So the fact that we're drop shotting today, I get to use probably my favorite NRX in the whole lineup. This is the rod that got me addicted to using NRXs. This is the original NRX 822 DSR. So it's the drop shot rod, the drop shot rod. For those of you who know, you know. I got it paired up with an Xsense 3000, my usual setup, 10-pound braid, 8-pound leader. For a drop shot hook, I almost always run a number 2 sized owner mosquito hook. Number 2 is a smaller sized hook. It's a little bit more downsized. A lot of guys use number 1. But I like the number 2. Just, I think the fish, it suits the smaller finesse plastics more, and I don't think the fish see it as much as they would the bigger hook. And then today I just got a little 1/4 ounce teardrop drop shot weight on. I use a lot of different drop shot weights. Sometimes I use lead, sometimes I use tungsten. I do think the tungsten helps you feel a little bit better if I'm fishing in deeper water. Sometimes I like the tungsten better too, but for now, you know, we're not going to be fishing super deep today, 15-ish feet at the deepest probably, so the lead sinker should do just fine. We're going to talk about baits a little later. First, we're going to go out, see what they're biting. I am going to strap this 822 down on the front deck, and we're going to go fishing. You want a nice long lead when you're running a drop shot, especially if the water is, you know, at all clearish. You know, you're throwing this bait out and just soaking it in front of fish a lot of the times, and you got to convince them to bite it. And having a long leader, having that connector knot in your braid far away from the deal that they're looking at, especially if you're dealing with a little bit of deeper water, long leader is important. I'm always running a 10-foot lead, or roughly a 10-foot lead. You know, if it gets anywhere near that 5-foot, I'm gonna cut it and retie a 10-foot.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, Griffin loves to do that.
In a perfect world, I would, Bobby.
Yeah, I know you would. A popular trend for smallmouth midsummer, when it's hot, sunny, flat, they're either hiding in weeds or they're rolling deep. These areas that we're fishing out here are basically big humps, big rock humps, shoals, and we're targeting the base of them, and that's where these smallmouth are. They'll be up on top at some points during the day, maybe in the low light hours, or you know, whenever they're feeding. Then when they're not feeding, they roll off and they just kind of circle it at the base or lower, you know, 15 to 20 feet of water maybe at most. And they're just circling around or hanging out on those deep rocks in between their feeding windows.
Okay.
First fish of the day on the drop shot. Bait that I've decided to start with is the Emo Kamushi 40 by G-Crack there. It's a hairy style bait. I don't know what you want to call them. It's like a dice, I guess, but it's not. Kind of looks like a little shortened fat TRD, but then it's got those strands coming out of it. It's a Laz-Tech, so you don't go through drop shot baits nearly as much. And it's a start. There's a solid one for Griff. Throw him back quick. Griffin's doing a technique called drop swimming. It's essentially a typical drop shot rig, but using a finesse swim bait. In this case, he's got a little megabass, a 3-inch megabass hasdong on there. The nice thing about this technique is you really don't have to move your rod or your line much for that little swim bait to kick its tail and give you some actions. You know, whether there's a little bit of current around or just the movement of the water, fishing out in 15, 20 feet. You know, the megabass hasdong and small little swim baits like that have turned into a staple, catching smallmouth everywhere.
Well, we're catching fish.
Yeah, drop swimming. Using a hasdong right now too. Catching small ones to start. It's on that emo kamushi again. Nasty wound on him. So obviously there's tons of different drop shot baits on the market there to choose from. If I had to choose my top three, you know, first I'm gonna put the megabass hasdong there. I've used it for years. It's really dominated the fishing scene for a lot of people. Secondly, I'll put the Great Lake Finesse plastics, you know, the drop minnow, the Hellgrammite. I've drop shotted the Flat Cat, the new Micro Series drop minnows. All of them have the time and place, neutrally buoyant. They catch fish everywhere as well. And then third is this emo kamushi. And like I said, I've been playing around with this the last couple years. I find it's a really good presentation for fish that are very pressured, ones that won't hit the other baits. Nowadays, those three that I just mentioned seem to be what we have on for the majority of the time. And sometimes one performs better than others on a given day.
Nice. Beauty,
First
dude.
good one of the day, that emo kamushi. It hasn't been getting the most bites, but sometimes I really think this little bait makes a difference when you put in front of the right ones. And that right there is certainly one of the right ones. 4 and change.
Nice.
Nice. A few more bigs like that guy.
Good job, buddy.
So there's the guys right there that I've been getting bit off, the 40 size. They're elastomer, so they do float. I'm dead sticking these fish. So I throw in there and I just kind of, you know, let the drop shot sit and let those little strands that are on these pieces of plastic just kind of, you know, very natural look and good for bigger ones. I still think we're gonna get the bites to be able to have a shot at a bag, so hope is not lost. Man, these bigger ones are harder to get to bite, but getting a few of them here and there. It's a third good one right there. 2 more for a sack.
Nice.
Bear hug. All right. Drop shot and smallies. Got 4 good ones. We need 1 more big. Look at how he ate emo kamushi. I don't know if I can see it in there with the. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's down the hatch, just like a piece of sushi. Japanese reference. Let's go.
Hey.
Perseverance pays off. Oh, I caught all those fish today on the emo kamushi, but finally the one that mattered, the Great Lake Finesse Helgermite on a drop shot.
Nice.
Big one. That's number 5. Let's put these fish on the scale, see what we had for a bag, get a nice team photo, and
Go from there.
go from there. Number 1, 462.
462.
462. 2, 309. Number 3, 326. I think that's our small one of the day. 3-pounder. On the dot. Number 5, 362. 1761.
Hey, there we go.
So just about 18 pounds, which was the goal. We decided we were gonna try to get 18, so that's good. Drop shot in Kawartha Smallies. Pitched that drop shot around, switched baits a bit, and ended up getting some nice ones in the boat. Right on, man. Good day. Let's send these puppies home. Thanks for watching this video, everyone. Bash that subscribe button. Like it if you enjoyed it. Follow myself and Griffin on Instagram, TikTok, all social media platforms. Stay tuned for the next one. God, I love smallmouth bass. See you guys.